Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. So this is the second lecture of our course HTML and CSS. So we have 3 lectures in total. So the first lecture is where we learn the basic concepts, and this is the second lecture. I'll tell you what we are going to learn in this lecture, and the third lecture will be the most interesting for you guys because you're just starting out in front-end web development. So this is going to be fascinating. The third lecture is going to be on YouTube clone. Only the front end, nothing complicated. So only the front end without any backend functionalities. So the second lecture today is going to be discussing about the core foundation concepts about HTML and CSS. So let's go to YouTube for a second. I'm in incognito mode. So this is YouTube, as you know. This is YouTube, and we can browse through videos over here. So what concepts do we need to know in order to replicate this? So first, we need to know about some Flexbox, because I'll tell you what is Flexbox. Flexbox is just like a box, a container. So inside a container, all these elements are being placed. So in this video, we are going to learn that. And after this, we are going to learn about hover. So when you hover, the color changes. If you hover around these, the color changes from a white to grayish tone. And after that, you have these videos, how to place the images, and these are the core foundation topics. And after that, we are going to learn about inputs. So input in the sense forms. So and after forms, we are going to learn about the last concept, which is the tables. So we are going to learn about tables, forms, and then the foundation concepts such as the hover state, and we are also going to learn CSS, cascading style sheets, to top it all. So let's close YouTube, and after this, let's go to Visual Studio Code. So open a new Visual Studio Code. Right now, wherever you are, mostly in your house, so just open Visual Studio Code. Just follow with me. It is going to be damn easy. This is a short video, but it is going to cover a lot of basics. So open Visual Studio Code and go to your desktop, create a new file. I'm going to do it fast, but I'm going to explain it to my best. So this is going to be main.html, some name of your choice, don't worry. And after that, double click this. So this is a blank screen. And before going to any code, I want to explain you some spacing issues, not issues, a concept. So let me open Epic Pen. So this is to draw. So I will be telling you about some spacing. You're going to understand that. So let us assume, give me a minute, I'm just setting this up. So let us assume this is a box, and inside this box we are going to have an other box. So in CSS or cascading style sheets, there are some terminologies you need to understand. There are some differences you need to understand for spacing. So you need spacing if you go to any website. Give me a minute. If you go to YouTube, see, there is some spacing behind these images. There is spacing everywhere, right? So there is spacing everywhere. There is spacing for the header, there is spacing for these videos. So just like that, we need to discuss about spacing. So let us assume this is a box, and inside that box there is another box. So in CSS, with respect to this box right over here, this space right over here is called margin. So this is called margin. And let us assume, so we assume that this is another box, right? So with accordance to this box, this space right over here is going to be the padding. So let me explain it to you again. Let me erase everything. It is going to be a bit complicated. And now with a good example. See, this is a box, and there is not going to be any other box. I want to keep it simple. So this is the home page. This is the browser. This is the full screen. Let me delete that. It doesn't look so good. Yeah. So as you know, this is the full screen, this is the monitor. So the space between this box and the space between this monitor is called, the space right over here is called the margin. And what if there is some text? So text, what do I mean? There is some text, there is some form, there are forms for login form, let's suppose a login form, and the space for this. So let us assume this is the text. So the space required over here is called the padding. So did you understand? So this box right over here, the outer space is called the margin and the inner space is called padding. You might not have understood this, but you're going to understand this when we discuss about CSS. So I just gave a little intuition into spacing, padding and margin. So let's go to code right now. So let us go to Visual Studio Code, and inside of Visual Studio Code, let's open the file. Open file. Let's go to desktop, and inside of desktop, let's open main.html. And do you remember the initial set of code we need to write? HTML, and there's a head of every page, and after that there's a body of every page. So do you remember that? I hope you remember. There was a 1 month break, sorry about that, but I want to recover the gap. And also thank you for 456 subscribers. I guess it is 456 subscribers right now, so thank you for that. Our aim is to complete 1k, but for short-term goals, let's hit 500 subscribers as of now. So thank you guys, thank you for subscribing. I'll be giving you great content in this channel. I'll be improving my speech, I'll be improving my teaching. If you have any improvements, please post in the comment section below. One person said that to reduce the background noise, the background music, I'll reduce it, don't worry. Thank you for the improvement issue. So let's get into coding again. So inside the body, let's recap a bit. You have h1 tags, hello world. So I'm not recapping about the images and everything, just the text. Now let's go to the browser and reload it. So this is hello world. Now let's go to the concept of cascading style sheets. I'll not be discussing much about it. So as of now, I'll not be discussing much about it, only a bit, because we are going to go into tables, and after we go to tables, then we are going to use CSS much more. So in order for you to use CSS, you have something known as a style tag. So there are two ways you can use CSS in a page. The first way is that you can create another file for CSS, cascading style sheets, and then import it to this file. And the second way is that you can use a style tag inside the head tag like this. So let's target the h1. So the syntax for style tag is, inside the style tag, you need to write h1. So this is going to target h1. So this is going to target all the h1 elements in my website or in my body. So what should I do with this h1? Sorry, a typo. So what should I do with this h1? I need to change the color. That is it. Now let's reload it. It changed to red. That is great. Now let's target the body. Since body is also a tag, so let's change the background color to cyan or aqua. Anything is same. Aqua is more preferable. Aqua, and reload it. See, the page changes to aqua. This does not look appealing as of now. Don't worry, I just want to introduce to CSS. So that's it about CSS. CSS is not complete, but this is about a little intuition into CSS. So as I was talking about margin and padding, let's introduce margin and padding right over here. So to this h1 tag, let's check our website first. Is there any spacing for this text around the spacing? Any spacing? No. So let us introduce some spacing. 10 pixels. So pixels is our conversion unit. So it is a unit in computer science. So pixels, margin 10 pixels. Let's see the change. See, there's some distance right over here. Let's change it to 100 pixels. See the spacing? So margin 100 pixels will give a spacing over the top, over the left, over the bottom 100 pixels, over the right 100 pixels. So did you understand that? And what if you only want to give it to the left? So there is margin left, there is margin top. So let's experiment this. See, there's only margin from the top. So you can use it like that. and I want to introduce to a new property which is called text align. So text align center. So this will make sure that the text is at center, and you can keep text align to the right. This will make sure the text is at right side. So this is text align. I want to keep it at center. So this is about CSS. Now let's remove all of this. Practice, practice, practice. After this video is over, or pause it right now, practice, make your own creation, import an image and give some spacing, something like that, your own creation, and send me the pic in my Instagram, DM me at decacode73.com. So now let's go to tables. So tables are easy. There's a table tag, but your life is not simple in HTML. So after table tag, you're going to have another tag which is table row. So you know rows, right? These are rows and these are columns. So columns are vertical and rows are horizontal. So table rows, inside of table rows, we are going to have table headings. So we are going to have headings such as first name, last name and age. So let me fill that up for you. I want to save time for you. And let's save this and go to our page and reload. So these are the headings. And after this we can fill with data. So let's create another table row, and inside this we can have TD, which is table data. So we can fill that data as well. Add your own data. For example, add your own first name, last name, like this. So let's save this and check it out. Does that look like a table to you? Actually, it is not a table. We need to add styling. That is why I introduced to CSS before going to tables. So let's do some CSS and let's do some magic. And after this, let's minimize and go to our style tag. So in styling, what should we do? So first, let's focus this at table. Let's have a width of 100%. So what width 100% will do is, it will stretch the table to its extent, 100% of the monitor. So you got it? It will stretch the table to its best. And after this, let's have some styling for table, table headings and table data. So I kept commas because this is the same styling applied to 3 different elements. You can also style like this: table separately and then table header separately. Like that you can do it, but it is not recommended. Is it optimized? No, not at all. So after this you can have a border. So border is a new property, so you can make a note of all these properties. So a border of 1 pixel, solid. So you can have dotted, you can have solid. I show you a difference. So border 1 pixel black, and after this you have another property. First let us see this. Does this look good? Yes, it looks good. So if you don't want this double border, if you don't like it at all, then you can add another property known as border collapse. So this is going to collapse the border. The name suggests itself. Let's reload this, and this looks like a table as well. So I don't like border collapse. I like the double border. So now let's check dotted. So dotted and reload. See, this is dotted. Let's zoom in. So these are the dots. So that is dotted. And after this, let's target table header and table data. And let's give it some space, 15 pixels, and save it. So this styling padding of 15 pixel will only apply to table heading and table data. So this gives some space. Let me change this to solid. And this is the solid. So there is some padding right over here. It looks good. So now let us go back, and after this let's have table header text align left. Why am I doing it text align left? Because as of now it is in the center, and if I reload this, it comes to the left. It looks good. And after this we are done with tables. How did you did you like tables? So you can add styling to it. For example, you can add background color to table data. Let me give you an example. Table data, you can have a background color such as gray. See, the background color has changed. Just like that. Be creative, and you share your pics with me. I will give you a review if it is good. So as you are beginners, you can use your creativity in this. So we are done with tables. Now let's go to forms. So forms are easy as well. It does not need styling. So after this, let's remove the styling over here. So for form, there is a form tag, and inside a form tag there is an input tag, and for each input tag there is a type. So type mentions whether it's a button. As you can see, it's such as button, checkbox, color, date, daytime, local, email, file, anything. So let's make it name. And there's another property known as placeholder. So did you ever sign up into a web page, and over there you'll see placeholders, right? For example, enter your password, enter your name, and after this, let's close it. Input is both self-closing, and you can leave it like this as well. So it is fine, but it is best to keep it a practice like this, because if you go to React.js, a better framework. So what do I mean by framework? An upgraded version of HTML, CSS and JS, JavaScript. So if you go to that language, everything should be self-closed. So it is better for you to do like this. It is better. And after this, you have another input tag. Let's keep it. Input of email, type, and placeholder, let's keep it as enter your email. Perfect. And next, let's have a button tag. So why do we need a button? For submitting. And type is equal to submit. Why do we need to keep type is equal to submit at all? Why is there a thing called type over here? So type is over there because let me show it to you. So if you keep type is equal to submit, whenever you click enter, you can submit the form. Let me reload the page. So this is your form. So I have made a typo. Let's save it again. Reload. Enter your name, enter your email. I can keep it like this. So if I did not keep type is equal to email, let's see what will happen. Ritvik, and if I enter my password instead of email, password, and if I click submit, see, there's an alert. Please include an @ in the email address. So this magic is only because of type is equal to email. So now, if you keep it like this, dot, it is incomplete. So this is email, and after this you have another property which is required. So if the user leaves any field, let's save it and reload and submit. Please fill out this field. So this is about forms. Let's style it a bit, only a bit. H1, form 1, form. Only a header. Just like this, it's good. So now let's style this just a bit, don't worry. So form, I'm targeting the form. So for form, what I want to do is align items to the center. So it suggests in the name itself, align items center, but just to the center. And after that, justify content. So justify, make sure that the content is in the center. Justify content center. And if you reload, nothing happens because you are missing an important property, which is display. So inside of display, you have some flex or grid or none. So none display will make sure that nothing is visible. See, the form is not visible, but the code is still here, but the form is not being visible. It is the magic of display none. If you keep it as block, it will be displayed again, and you can use it as flex again. So display flex is the magic of flexbox. So here we are introducing the concept of flexbox. So flexbox is just like a container, a box. So you can mention the direction of the box. So if you want the elements in that to be in this direction or in this direction, you can mention it. So display flex, and you can mention the flex direction to be column. So column means like this. I want the form to be like this, not like this. So let's save it and reload. See, this is good. Very good. Now let's target the H1 and text align center as we learned earlier. Text align to the center. Perfect and perfect. Now let's style the input tag. So for input, just add some margin of around 10 pixels. So the border margin. So as you can see, the power of margin, there is a spacing, 10 pixel spacing. So how are forms? That is it with forms. So we are done with CSS, we are done with forms, and we are done with tables. So we are done with today's lecture. So how did you enjoy today's lecture? If you like this video, please give this video a like and don't forget to subscribe. Share this video to as many friends as you can. Reach this video, make sure this video gets reached to many people, and many people get interested in these videos and they learn something new from my channel. So I'll be very happy about it. Please post any comments if you have any doubts, and I'll meet you in the next one. And in the next video, we are going to be doing the YouTube clone. So we discussed all the main properties. And I'm going to discuss another property. So we are going to learn as we are doing YouTube clone. It is going to be very much easy, and it will be just like YouTube. If you have seen my Facebook clone, you will be understanding the level of accuracy we'll be doing in YouTube clone. So it will be just like YouTube, and it is going to be easy as well. So we are going to do it in the next video, but for now, peace.